Welcome back to Walls Revived. I'm here again with Leanne, and she is the owner-operator of Walls Revived. She does more than just painting. She also does design work. So today we're going to be talking about some of the shortcuts that painters take that you don't know about. So get us started, Leanne.
Oh, no.
What are some of the shortcuts that painters take that they shouldn't?
Oh, boy. Please, painters, don't listen to this. I don't want to give you any ideas. So I've seen a lot in the long time that I've been in this industry. The main one, of course, the easiest one is no prep. So they just, show up to the job site, just start painting. Nuh-uh, don't do that. You got to there's a lot of prep and with the walls and especially sanding and at the very, very least. So that's that. But the interesting ones that the homeowners don't really realize or know about, a couple ones are, I've seen it where painters only do one coat in the closets or they avoid them. There's ones where they water down the paint.
Okay.
So that's definitely not good.
Okay, so let's jump back to the one coat in the closets.
Sure.
Why is that a problem?
Well, it's just I'm going to swear here, but half-ass work. Just do it properly. It's usually when you're repainting something, 2 coats is minimum. You can get away with 1 coat if you're doing the same color for maybe a rental or something like that. But even still, paint fades. I'm sure it's not the same paint as what you used. And everything works best as a system for 2 coat coverage. So I've seen it before where you're just that looks a little weird. It's kind of you can see the other color through it, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's not like a solid color. And that's what it is most of the times. They needed to do another coat. And you often see it in closets because, they don't care, unless the homeowner specifically says, let's cut some corners, save some money. I don't care about the closets. That's the only reason I see that would work.
Okay. And then you were mentioning watering down the paint. So talk about that.
I mean, paint is designed, some paint, you can dilute it a little bit. So you can add water or an extender product. But I've seen painters that just add water for the heck of it so that they don't have to purchase more. So it stretches out more. That is not a great case because it thins it out. You're messing with the components of the paint itself. So don't do it.
And what problems does that cause?
Mostly adhesion. So, the binders in the paint, you want it to adhere to your substrate, right? Mm-hmm. To the walls and whatnot. So if you're messing with the chemical components by, diluting it, then, and I'm sure it's going to disturb other properties in the paint too, like durability and longevity. Maybe even color fastness, right? It's all those things. Just don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what are some of the other shortcuts that you've seen painters take they shouldn't?
Okay. The other one too. So new drywall, that's just bare drywall. The best way to paint that is you seal it with a primer and then 2 coats on top of that. I've seen painters tint the primer. Primer is normally just white, but you can tint it. So let's just say a homeowner chooses a gray color. I've seen them tint the primer to a gray, and then they just do 1 coat on top of that. So you're missing a whole entire coat, and you can even feel it. The walls should be relatively smooth, but you can tell. And that's just painters. Please don't use that one.
So they're cheaping out a little bit.
Yeah, they're cheaping out. And you'll find that in new homes. I made a video a long time ago, and I was if you're unsure, usually the painters will leave the leftover paint underneath the stairs and go check. And, read the labels of the paint. And if it says primer, just check. Is it tinted? That doesn't always necessarily indicate that they did that because sometimes, it does help with the color coverage. So not necessarily, but, that could be an indication.
Yeah, especially with the maybe darker tones.
That's the true. Yeah. So that can help.
Okay, so we've learned a few of the the sins of the painting trade. What are some of the other ones that they do that really are no-nos?
Okay, this other one, and I heard this. I haven't witnessed it, but so they'll buy an empty paint bucket from a reputable company like Benjamin Moore or whatever, right? An empty one, and then they fill it with a cheaper, inferior product from somewhere else. And they claim, oh yeah, no, we're using a premium product. How does the homeowner know? You just don't know. But I've seen that, so beware. Like, there's a lot of shady companies out there, and that's just, one thing that I've heard that's been done.
Wow.
So, I mean, the only way to combat that, you can ask your painter for a receipt of the paint that they purchased. That's the way to do it. You can purchase the paint yourself, but you might be foregoing any discounts that the painter can get you.
Right.
That's naughty. That shouldn't be done.
Well, it's lying, right?
It is lying.
It's lying, and it's cheating the client, because
you're cheating.
Yeah.
It's a huge cutting corner.
All right. Well, Leanne, thank you so much for sharing with us today and informing the people out there that when you hire a painter, these are some things that you need to look out for so that you don't get sidelined and get inferior products or shoddy workmanship. But to avoid all that, you can just call Leanne from Walls Revived, and she does all the things right and properly so that you get good coverage, good paint job, and
your paint will last because I don't thin it out.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next video.
See ya.